My name is Courtney James, and I'm here with Gary Lohman and Patrick Cruickshank. Gary is the VPX of 9 Mile Metals, and Patrick is the CEO. Hello to both of you.
Good morning, Courtney.
Hi, Courtney.
So today you guys put out some news that touched on some exciting developments with your exploration efforts at two of the projects in 9 Mile. I'm hoping that you can just put a little bit more context around the information that was shared.
I'll let Gary start off.
I guess the important thing we're going to be doing is going back to two projects, California Lake and the Wedge, and doing downhole, like borehole electromagnetics. And that's going to give us a good look down the drill hole and around the drill hole. We found at California Lake, the drilling in December, besides the weather, at depth, the rocks are exceptionally silicious. It was just very slow going. So this is a cost-effective way of getting a look down the hole and around the sides of it. And we'll be looking, we worked with EarthEx. They designed a loop that, with the geology and the information we gave them, we should be able to look approximately 500 to 700 meters around the drill hole. So that's all to the sides and at depth. So not only are we going to get the data on the hole itself, there's 3 conductors in the area, linear conductors that EarthEx previously defined, and this survey should be able to touch on all of that. At the Wedge, we're going to be doing one borehole survey. And if everyone remembers, we started our drilling at the bottom of the hill below where the head frame was, and the other holes were collared up top. This one is at the base of the hill and be drilling. It was drilled underneath the old mine. So this should give us a better depth perspective than if we did the survey from up top. There are portions of the mine that obviously that were mined and areas that were not. So we'll be able to connect with the mineralization we intersected and get a look at depth. I believe the mining only went down maybe 500 feet. So this should give us a good handle on what we've got there. In both of the drill holes, we should have there's very good geology, but what it does is provide good contrast for the probe. At California Lake, these were good, hard, silicious rocks. We did see some sulfide mineralization, a lot of disseminated, and maybe some local banding. Whereas at the Wedge, we've got sediments, we've got volcanics, and a lot of sulfide mineralization. So that should light up really nice.
Very cool. And so what's the process that it goes with that? The EarthEx will go there, they'll put the probe down, and then how long does it take for the results to come back from that?
Well, what they do is lay a large loop outside on surface, and the size of the loop, that's where with working with EarthEx, they design sort of the location where to put it and the size of it. And because we have a deep hole at California Lake, we've got a very large loop, so they'd be able to put a lot of energy into this loop, and then the probe goes down and then they'll survey. They should be able to, I believe they should be able to do a hole in the 1 or 2 days, and we should have results almost immediately.
Okay.
They'll be able to tell us on the ground what we've got.
Okay.
And then they have to do, of course, reprocessing and provide a report with the specifics. But if there's something there, we'll know right away.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay, great. And then Patrick, from a corporate standpoint, how is this new plan, this new partnership, well, not new partnership with EarthEx, but these new strategies looking for you on that side of things?
Yeah, I mean, it's very cost effective and prudent for us to do this now that we have access from the weather in the winter and water. So getting back to hole 10 was a priority. But because it's so hard and so on, it's much cheaper and more cost effective to do the downhole borehole. And if you've ever done a lot of exploration, you can overanalyze everything. And of course, everyone would always want to do borehole on everything, but at a certain point, you want to just get to the drilling because you know what you have there. But going down that far, if it's like a 5-kilometer loop and the power is so strong that it will get down, I just wanted to share, if you can let me share on our map, and I wanted to show people the conductors, because if you remember, this was a target defined by another company and another technology, but we do have EarthEx as our geophysical partner and on our previous technical advisory team, and their processing and technology identified this area and this trend. So we want to use their technology, and it'll look over the 3 conductive response target areas and give us a good picture of the area. And having the 3 conductors in that one area is very, very interesting. And obviously, because with a drill hole, you could drill and miss something by 10 feet.
Yeah.
This
Especially
is
at a
what's
depth
unique
of that.
about this is we'll see 500 to 700 meters in all directions below, which is really what we want to do before we go and spend all that money to continue. And it will give us enough radius to see what caused that red conductor, what causes the blue or the yellow medium conductor and the blue one, and that would be great. So if I just wanted to share again with folks, we are talking about this area here, and you can see our red conductor right along that trend, right? And you got all these little nodes and so on, just like you have here on California East. And I think the drill hole, I may be off a bit, but the drill hole is somewhere in there. But you're between the yellow, the blue, and the red, and you want to be able to see this radius. So it's real important that we do this before we continue drilling, but we also want to evaluate. This is a high priority trend, number 10 already. Yeah. And then what Gary had mentioned down here at hole 1, I think the drill hole is right on the red conductor. Yeah. So we're very excited to do that. But don't forget, down at the Wedge, we want to see, the west side of the historic mine. We want to see the depth because we want to test it deeper. And if you look at the lens is like this, and we're drilling on top of the hole here, and then we're drilling the base down here. If we go down 300 meters and then do the probe for another 200 or 300 meters, you're really getting down there. And we know that the lens has a fault and it had shifted, but no one, since I closed it, has tested it at depth. We've already proved that the target 1 area is unmined and all new east. Now we want to get a look. It was a little, and Gary can attest to this. I mean, to just go start drilling right in the middle of the historic mine has risks, because we don't know, is there still equipment down there? Are there voids? If there's voids in your drill pit, it's a void, you lose your water and you got to stop.
Yeah.
And what's west? And the lens lies northeast to southwest. So, and is there multiples? I mean, the nice thing with launching our complete program from a corporate standpoint is you just heard about the borehole, but we have a whole program that we'll be announcing. That's just the first phase, starting in the first week of June. The 2 boreholes, we also have, as we've told people before, the digitizing of all the Caminco drill holes from surface is the first phase, but also with the assays. And we will, that's coming. Plus we'll have the borehole data, plus our own drilling data, plus historical information before we do phase 2 on the Wedge. But now that we have full access to our portfolio on the west here, we're going back to our high priority targets, which is 3, 4, kind of 3, 4, 7 there, the West Wedge and the Tri-Bag. Target 6, which is just north of, the Wedge and target 2. And we believe it's a source to that whole trend up to 8, where we drilled and hit up to 20 meters of VMS. We think that's the source. And again, you can see the elongated on the contact there, the California Lake Formation. You can see the contact all right down here, all the way to Canoe Landing. And then you've got the same kind of underlying geology and reprocessing of this EM on trend 10 and 11, that folded nose. So now we can go back and continue our program And we'll be disclosing more of those steps very shortly, now that we've pretty much designed the whole program right through to November. So that was part
Wow.
of why we explained to folks why we raised another $500,000 of flow through,
Mhm.
because we're gonna attack this whole portfolio this summer like we had told people. And
Great.
and we're very, very excited to have a full work program starting June 1st.
That's excellent.
And we still have all our assays coming back, so
Yeah, we still
we have yeah, we have the crews just finished sending the last hole, cut it, and assays and photographed and all that and sampled, and it's gone. So all the holes have been shipped. That was the last hole we had to do, and now they're coming back. So we've got, what do we have, 6 holes left or something to release? Quite a
Well,
few.
yeah, it put it into perspective for me the other day. I was driving in like North Vancouver, Deep Cove area. So I'm in Vancouver. These guys are, Gary sometimes is out in New Brunswick, sometimes in Ontario, but I drove by an ALS and I was like, that's
Yeah.
some of our
Yeah.
stuff gets shipped. It's a long way. So they have all of their labs. And it's not going all to the same lab. It's not going to the one near you guys. So some of our results might have been in there getting processed.
Yeah.
And it was
Oh,
What I need to do is we need to get Courtney all fired up and go knock on that door and tell them to hurry up, whatever you got in North Van, get it back.
I'll bring some
Um,
cupcakes or something, maybe some brownies, see if we can get them to
There
hurry.
you go. There you go. Because we've got pieces of all our holes, and I got to remind people, okay, like last year and even the year before, there wasn't as much activity in the market, right? So
Yeah.
we were very active, and our rush samples were taking
Coming
2 to
back
3
like that.
weeks.
Yeah, they were great.
Now and they were all together. Now they're being broken up, logistically to see what comes back quicker, and they try to spread it around between all their labs. But there's a lot of activity out there, a lot of companies drilling, and
Yeah.
so the pipeline is much deeper. And now it seems like our experience this time is, 4 to 6 weeks on a rush, and
Wow.
I'm telling you, if
And
we
that's
don't rush,
rush,
it can be
right?
6 to 12 weeks.
Yeah.
And then just to add on to that, when I talk to ALS, where the backlog is in the preparation. We ship our stuff to Moncton, but if they're clogged, like the lab is clogged, those samples they have to get crushed, broken down, then sieved and all that. Once it gets to the lab, there's just small pulps that they can handle quickly. But it's the backlog is where you drop them off.
Yeah, that's where we're getting
And if
bottleneck.
if they're busy, it's a rush, but you're still in line with everyone else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I think it's great to compare it to last year because it was just a different time. There was just less activity going on in the market. So
Yeah.
working as fast as you guys are
Yeah.
able to.
And that's why we do like drilling in the winter, because there's less activity. A lot of
Yeah.
companies have no access in the winter up in, the interior of BC or wherever or up north, and there's less competition for the labs. But
But
people
then
are
you run
now,
into other factors too. You're dealing with the cold, the snow, the road. So
anyone that thinks the management of exploration programs, everything goes nice and smooth, they've never been in mining.
well, I know. So I'm planning to go out again in July to take another look at the projects and get some videos and everything and stuff. And I just bought 3 pairs of mosquito and tick repellent pants because I forgot to bring those the last time that I was out there. So it's all the fun things.
Well, and being the late winter or late spring, I mean, everything will get pushed back probably, right? So, but I'm real excited. We still have all the holes to report. We have the rest of our exploration program to report and get out to the marketplace. And we have it's been so busy and catching up and the crew continuing and hiring folks. Everything's really going well, and we're shareholders too. We can't wait to report on our holes and get this information out. So.
This is excellent. Thank you for this awesome update for both of you. Good news, and it looks like we have a lot of good, exciting things coming ahead.
Can't wait to share it.
Okay, we'll chat soon.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Courtney.
Bye.